or do you think it has to do with the officiating? Because I do think it's a blend, but I'm curious on where you would put that. Like, is it just the skill level and the talent is so high that's why it is, or what numbers would you put on that?
Yeah, it's a blend. It's a blend. I think it is because you got to think too. The NBA is obviously entertainment. You know, it's we want to make the game better and better. What makes it better is obviously seeing offensive nights, guys going off for big numbers. That only raises value to the league from a viewership standpoint. And then there's just so much storylines to follow. Like, will he go for 40 this night? Like, will he go for 50 in the Garden? Like, there's just so many storylines that you can tag on based off of the offensive players being so skilled now. But, I mean, I think it changed, honestly, when we played Miami and they put Chris Bosh at the 5. I think that's when the league literally changed. Because we were one of the last teams to be like two bigs, two like real bigs, David West and Roy Hibbert. Not three-point shooters, mid-range shooters. And then defensively, Miami struggled against that until they moved Chris Bosh at the 5 and they played 4 wings. And then that was how you beat the Pacers. Like, that was the blueprint to beat the Pacers at that time. And then we saw it with Atlanta. They put Ontic at the 5. He was a shooting big. Horford at the 5 was shooting big. And that gave us the most problems. That gave us the most struggle. So, honestly, I do think we have a lot – like, we take a lot of credit. That Indiana Pacers team take a lot of credit for how, like, the game is. And then now that's what you look for. You want a shooting big. Like, you there is no 4-man no more. Like, the 4-man is – a guard, a wing now. You know, so the game is too far gone to, like, we won't see a 90s.
I get it, but I'm still curious on what your number is. Is it 60? Is it
I think
the league's just more skill? Like, how much does the officiating have to do with it and the rules?
I think
rather than just
because the officiating obviously is always been the officiating, right? So it's not no new change there. I mean, it's probably more than that. It's probably 80-20. It's just skilled to the officiating. It's more skewed on the skills side because a lot of, like I said, everybody can dribble, everybody can shoot, everybody can initiate offense. You look at Jokic, the center.
Yeah, I like 80-20. I think that's
Pete, you was talking about at first it was too much defense in the league or whatever. Now I want to switch it. When did it become when it was just too much offense being played on the court?
Honestly, I want to say when like, and it's not necessarily that moment that Bron decided to go to Miami, but I think it was the ripple or the domino effect of it to match up and compete with a team that offensively potent. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think it was like a little bit around that area because, like, that's when, like, you had to, like, that's when it became, all right, like, guys are teaming up, stars are aligning, stars want to play on the same team. And then, so that's just when teams just start stacking up offensively. You know what I mean? Like, that's where, and then you got so many guys that are, you look at, but then I take that back. It was more so when, like, the Rockets with James Harden and the spread offense, I think that was the pivotal moment where it was offensive explosion. You got your best player you played through. You put 4 shooters around him, and you play fast. You get up and down the court. You pick and roll. See if the defense, how the defense reacts, and then you play from there. And you look at all the teams. You look at why the Pacers are so good, because they got a point guard they play through with 4 shooters around them, and they play fast. You look at why the Mavericks put up so many points. You got Luka at the point, 4 shooters around him, or 3 shooters with a rolling big, puts pressure on the team. You look at why the Hawks put up so many points. You got Trae Young, put shooters on. So it was like a blueprint. I think now that teams play through your star, you put shooters around them. And so I kind of think it was, that the explosion with Mike D'Antoni, that Houston Rockets team, that kind of, like, I think changed the landscape a little bit.
I dig it.
When it comes to travel, every family has a happy place.